Good. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Miss B Ecstatic Mondragon. I am Miss B, and it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Lots of life happenings, new puppy, and yeah, lots of other summertime vibes. So it's been a minute, but I'm back, and I wanted to cover today while the puppy's sleeping and before I get into some astrology studies, the new moon in Cancer, which is going to be at 24 degrees, almost 25 degrees. And then also I want to include the energies of the Pluto squaring the nodes of faith, the what evolutionary astrology calls the skip step, or the bending of the nodes traditionally. So today I'm just going to do a little bit of a reading with the I Ching. And so we'll ask the living spirit of the I Ching what messages are available for us at this time as a collective. And so I'm going to edit the part, I'm going to include the part where I am getting the hexagram. And then I'm going to show you, after I've had a moment to sit with it, what the hexagram is and explain more. And then we will close out with an oracle from, let's see, Sacred Rebel. I'm considering Colette Baron Reed. We'll see how I feel. But I'm kind of, leaning more towards the Sacred Rebel today. So if it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking and visiting, and if you are returning, thank you for your presence. If you haven't already, consider liking and subscribing. Later this afternoon, I will, the next couple of days, I will put out little mini shorts on the new moon in Cancer for each of the 12 signs. So that's something that you're interested in. That's a playful thing for me. It's fun, kind of creative play. So let's see. Anything else? Yeah, I think that's it for now. So let's get right into it. Yeah. Okay. So I've already done my meditation. I've already prayed and cleared the energies. And at this point, again, the focus is going to be on the Cancer new moon and Pluto squaring the nodes. And the reason I included this is because on the day of the new moon, the new moon, the north and south node will be at 29 degrees and Pluto's at 29 degrees, which is a critical point in astrology. And Pluto has the archetype energy of transformation at a deep, changeable level, like long-term change and transformation. Basically, it has more permanent vibe, whereas some of the other planets have the capacity for change, or at some level or another. Pluto is like death, transformation, permanence. So, and with the new moon, and with any new beginning, it's usually from the remnants of something that has passed, or has found permanent transition in or out of your life. So something to that effect. I felt it was relevant, and so I'm hoping that we might get a little guidance from the I Ching. Okay, so hope the sound is okay. All right. Messages and evolutionary opportunities available for the collective. New moon, Cancer, Pluto square the nodes. New moon, Cancer, Pluto square the nodes. Messages and evolutionary opportunities available for the collective, please. New moon, Cancer, Pluto square the nodes. Messages and evolutionary opportunities available for the collective, please. New moon in Cancer, Pluto square the nodes. Messages and evolutionary opportunities available for the collective, please. New moon in Cancer, Pluto square the nodes. Messages and evolutionary opportunities available for the collective, please. New moon in Cancer, Pluto square the nodes. Messages and evolutionary opportunities available for the collective, please. All right, so we have our hexagram. I'm gonna pause the video recording at this time and I'll be right back. All right, what's up everybody? I'm back with your hexagram. We have hexagram 15 and it is speaking about, the name of it is moderation or modesty, and it's pretty clear cut. And the first thing that stood out to me was the very first sentence in this translation of R.L. Wing, which is the predominant forces in the cosmos at this time are in the process of balancing extremes and harmonizing interests. So I think we can take a look at any area of our lives personally and on the outside world, and we can see a whole mess of extremes at this time. Now you might be watching this maybe a year from now, 10 years from now. Take a look around. Hopefully things are not as crazy as they are as of the recording of this video, but there's a lot going on. And we do see extremes in every genre. Extremes politically, economically, in terms of war. We're seeing escalations and extremes, and in extremes of social issues, and in terms of inflation, we're seeing extremes, how we spend our money, how far our money goes at this time. Ideologies are all extreme at this time. So I think it's really perfect that the hexagram modesty comes through as our guidance and message for the collective at this time. And the evolutionary opportunity is to look in your own personal life, your own role as a leader in your home, in your family, and in your greater expansive community. How are you showing up? Have a fair assessment of your relationships, and maybe take a look at how modesty can be practiced in order to find harmonizing, spacious energy in these areas, personally and in the outside world, of course. So when I say that, extremes being the theme and the medicine being moderation. So I feel like it's pretty clear cut. And one of the other additional messages, because I did get moving lines, which provide additional interpretations or guidance for us. And in the modesty hexagram 15, we had 2 moving lines. And the moving lines from the Tao Oracle, I feel kind of convey simply what we can use. And so one of the first lines that was changing says, Remembering to consider the implications of what you say and do helps you to take responsibility, act with authority, and stay in touch with others and the requirements of the time. Moderation is about creating order and balance and not appearing self-effacing or weak. The other moving line, fifth moving line, that was the fourth moving line. So from the bottom, counting from the bottom up, it would be the fourth moving line where the message is additional. This is the fifth moving line, in case you wanted to go and look at the hexagram yourself. Do not make the mistake of confusing modesty with over-compliance or passivity. Be watchful and act accordingly whenever you sense the correction is needed. By keeping your actions above reproach, practicing moderation, and avoiding any tendency towards egoism, you will have continued success. So this translation also kind of is a little more contemporary and modern. So I like to use it as a go-to. And in modesty, it talks about how the extreme of our culture is to seek out being extraordinary, to seek out fame, fortune, be an influencer, and this again is something that we see, and I'm sure we probably will continue to see. It's kind of one of the aspects of our nature is to want more, to be seen, to be validated. And so sometimes this can take on extreme flair. So, I mean, it can be something that people get hungry for, and the pendulum could shift into toxic areas with that. Like, I feel like there's some, again, middle ground or modesty or moderation in that we all can use, that we all need. It's all part of our necessities to be seen, to be heard, to be valued and validated. But then the other side of that can be destructive. It can be painful. It can be toxic. And so that's kind of a little bit of how what our culture kind of praises is the extreme influencer with their extremely radical, like, expensive car, and like the extreme traveling, luxury traveling, and designer things, and or like the extreme get rich quick type influence, risk-taking, things like that. And so at this time during the new moon, where the sun and the moon come together in Cancer at the same degree, they are illuminating one another. They are shedding light on each other, shedding light on something that needs to be seen at a deeper capacity, deeper level, to be harmonized, to be balanced out. So where in your life, personally, can you see the need for this? So as in terms of astrology, you can look at where, what house Cancer is in your chart. And everybody has a Cancer house in their chart. Everybody's a little different in terms of this precise meaning, but usually it has to do with home, comfort, protection, bloodlines, and what we carry over from those who have come before us. So those are just some little tidbits, but also, it is about our connectivity as well, how we connect with our family and our environment. So I want to emphasize that, like, we have mostly control over how we feed and water our relationships. And so as long as we have the awareness, We don't have too many blinders up. And so where in your relationships can you, or any place that you take leadership and control, can you find more balance and practice cultivating some moderation or just fair assessment and or just accept some acceptance, maybe applying acceptance or applying forgiveness in some area will bring more harmony and balance into the relationships that, if you look around, maybe a little out of balance or even an extreme. So I think at this time, that new moon in Cancer is giving us an opportunity to illuminate the areas that we need to make a fair, balanced assessment of how we are showing up, and to apply the tools that we have in our awareness, some actions of modesty and moderation. Okay, and then once we have the changing lines, it makes a brand new hexagram, which is attraction. And the reason I really like this attraction as an outcome is that, like, our actions in these relationships and seeking balance and harmony in our personal lives and external lives, in the outside world, the exact opposite happens. Like, those who seek the extremities, not extremities, that's not what I want to say. It's not like an appendage or anything, but like, basically, the less you seek those extremes, the less you seek fame, fortune, and attention, and be humble and grateful for, like, the truth of your existence in the everyday, in every moment. Every day and every moment there is truth, there's presence, there's value, and that is what is the magnetizing feature in attraction. So the more we seek to lead with balance and harmony and applying the tools of being humble, forgiving, accepting, maybe a little less attached and a little more trusting in life and trusting in our own unique nature and the role that we have to play, whether it be big and famous or humble and profound. We have an opportunity every day to magnetize, to attract from our potent presence and the truth that we can find in that, watering that. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's kind of what I'm getting. Not kind of what I'm getting. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. So, so just a few sentences from attraction, which is hexagram 31, by the way. Basically, the first hexagram was mountain and earth, and we've maintained mountain in the second hexagram, and the top trigram. And the top trigram is now lake, which is reflective and joyous. And when we look into the lake, we see the reflection of the beautiful environment and the heavens. And, when we peer over, we see ourselves, and we see ourselves as a part of it. It's very, I really like the lake imagery. and the mountain where all of the abundance is sitting there, and like there's some satisfaction in climbing and looking with a broader view. So there's a little additional attraction vibe for you, hexagram 31 again. But in terms of what this translation says, the universe as we know it is held together and governed by the various laws of attraction. From the vast movements of the solar system in infinite space to the perfectly balanced center of the atom, these mutual attractions create all things. In life, these attractions manifest themselves in complex network of desire, perseverance, and fulfillment. Life begets life and evolves itself in an order and divine fashion. The attraction between mates with an underlying interest towards social unity and perhaps progeny is the emphasis here. This magnetism is not a superficial desire, it is the beginning of the most basic social unit, the family. Just as the atom with the attraction of its positive and negative charges is the basic material unit. If you, let's see. So, and then also this describes the way great leaders can influence society. An attitude of servitude demonstrated by the leader towards the people encourages them to approach. It makes them more approachable. Yeah, so more about that. In this way, the leader can direct others into areas of greater development and order, harmonizing, balancing extremes, attracting order. Okay, so that's part of that. In social matters, your willingness to be influenced, even though you may be altogether self-sufficient, attracts others to you and creates an atmosphere for the exchange of ideas pertaining to personal relationships. It is unequivocally stated in the original text to take a spouse brings good fortune. So for those of you looking for your other, this might be a good indicator. This might be a time in which those opportunities are making themselves known. So, and maybe with the 12 signs tarot, take a look at where, what messages might come up additionally for you in that, okay? All right, so also, again, the sun and the moon coming together, magnetism, attraction, masculine, feminine, the unity in order to create family. Life begets life. So basically, there's a place and time for extremes, and it always, life, the nature of this realm is to harmonize. So at one point, even with our bodies, we might have, once we get really imbalanced, we get sick. That's the extreme, out of balance. We get sick, something comes up, it's a cough, it's a cold, it might be something more distressful on the body, it might be something cancerous, it might be something really scary, but the body is seeking to create balance, equilibrium, and to heal itself. And so, and we usually use our tools, medicine, to temper a fever, to help a rash, or to help us sleep, or to clear our nasal passages. So in the same way that nature seeks to harmonize, our bodies seek to harmonize, our social interactions and the opportunities that are available now, when we seek to harmonize, we'll magnetize outcomes, the best possible outcomes for us. And for some of you, maybe not all of us, but for some of you, it might be your divine counterparts. So, all right. that's it for me. I want to leave it right there because that feels really good. Again, thank you so much for watching. And if you've made it all the way through here, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really don't make videos on a calendar. It's just kind of when I have the call, when I'm feeling it. So do subscribe and leave me a like or a comment below. And that way you have, you get a notification when I do spring a new video on you. So thank you so much for your presence and your time, and blessings abound always now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Be well.